Why is music industry so uncreative nowadays? Various views from internet comments. The music industry today is run like a cutthroat corporate business. Art has long been replaced by commerce. Labels don't take risks today, they are looking for the artist to do as much work as possible and show them a profit-making business model. Yes, it's business. I know people like to think, it's music man, it's coming from another dimension, but the way the suits see it, it's all business. To answer your question specifically, here's a story from a famous record exec. There was supposedly this guy that wanted to get signed and the label execs went and saw him. He had a good business model and his show had an attendance of almost 1,000. The exec basically said, "I don't know what else I can do for you. You are already doing great, you are keeping your own publishing rights and keeping all your generated income." The guy went for a deal anyway, but I guess ended up leaving the label, I think. Why? Up until that point, he was in complete control and he could do whatever he wanted and write the songs he wanted. Once he signed to a major label, they started telling him, "This is the type of song we want." At that point, creativity stops. You are basically writing what the label wants and usually they accept 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10 songs you write. Today songs are written by a group of people. It is not uncommon to have a room full of writers bash out songs in a series of afternoon sessions perhaps. One person will write the lyrics, one will come up with the hook, one will come up with the melody. So a song today is very formulaic and sort of pieced together as opposed to one sole artist writing the whole song, which can still happen. So the label thinks it knows what the masses want and writes or instructs its writers to write accordingly. For example, 10 to 15 years ago, the rule was, if you don't hook the listener in by the first 30 seconds, he moves on to the next song. Today the rule is 9-15 seconds tops. That is, you have about 9 seconds to hook the listener in or else he will click next on Spotify or Pandora. What this means is, your verse better start rather quickly and the chorus should typically kick in before the 40-second mark. Do you see how formulaic this is? Only accomplished artists like Adele are allowed to have intros longer than say 5 seconds, because we will wait for her, not just anybody. This is the message we and our digital, I can't be bothered with anything, culture have sent the labels. It's this me-centered culture that has driven the music industry into the ground. The labels are simply responding and modifying themselves to our needs. The inadvertent result is crappy music. It's an interesting topic and I for one feel that downloading, legal or illegal, has played a part. The concept of the album is dying out with the younger buyers as they can choose whatever tracks they like via the MP3 stores. So they don't have to buy a full album, just the tracks they like. The idea of a physical album with cover art etc. is no longer the attraction it once had with the CD/LP buying public. There is extraordinary music created every day, but digital streaming and mobile technologies have rendered access to both recorded and live music so effortless and ubiquitous there's no longer any need to pour those hours of our lives into cultivating our musical taste. Artists may, understandably, disagree, but from the music fan's point of view, there's never been a better time to indulge in our musical addiction. I wonder what the equivalent of my age thought of modern music back in the 80s or 90s and whether they thought it was bad or not. It's a hard question to answer as it's so subjective, but I think the listening and buying habits of today's target markets has changed that we may never see another Thriller or Dark Side of the Moon, from a sales perspective. But still there is wonderful music everywhere. If you listen with an open mind, I hope you will find it. Lack of creativity in music is a direct outcome of people's demand for it. People don't have knowledge of music nowadays. For me, music has 3 components. 1. Melody. 2. Beat. 3. Instruments used. If you add great lyrics to that music, it becomes a great song. People nowadays don't care a damn about lyrics. You serve them shit with that mundane EDM beats and they go nuts. Instruments are getting extinct day by day and trashy electronic music is taking over. Soulful music is considered oldies music by young generation. And can I talk about melody with these sophisticated music aficionados of this age? Music today equals shit plus beats plus gibberish for lyrics. Related questions. Why don't we have good pop music nowadays? Is the Christian music industry corrupt? What's up with the popular music nowadays? How fierce is the music industry? Which has the best music industry, Hindi music or Tamil music? A CD needs a barcode to be sold in digital format. If I offer individual songs, does each one need its own barcode? Do people really buy DVDs and music CDs nowadays? Is the rap music industry a shady industry? Who runs 50% of the music industry? How did you get your foot in the door with the music industry? Why do so many people whine about music nowadays? Who are musicians that still record music in studio nowadays? What do you think about nowadays music? Why are music videos so bad nowadays? Has streaming music ruined the music industry?